This video is sponsored by Freedom, but mostly by Skillshare.
Long last, terrible writing advice is ours. It is now time for Villainous writing advice.
Yes, it is our time now. Tie him to the railroad tracks.
The script is in our hands now, just as we planned. So let's see. Wait, this is a bunch of talking points. I thought this would be a finished script.
That is okay. I am accustomed to winging it.
I am an evil emperor. I need no script. I am so resourceful that all I need is near endless manpower, money, and resources, and then I can do anything.
What is the topic so that I may curse JP's audience with my forbidden knowledge?
The topic is villains, with a note saying that it's too broad and needs to be narrowed down some.
Ha! Pathetic! JP lacks vision if he feels he cannot cover this topic with the injustice it deserves.
Yeah, we got this. This should be as easy as destroying an entire planet in order to stop a single rebel strike team.
Well, we are villains after all, so how hard can this be?
If the pathetic love triangle man can do this, then so can we. Let us advise writers on how to write a villain.
What's his first talking point?
Let's see. It's just the word motive in bold, underlined, italicized, and repeated 3 times. There's also a note about how this is where villains usually go wrong, often in the form of not having one.
Motive for a villain is simple. I hunger for power's sake.
That's all very well and good, but if you don't mind me asking, Dark Lord, what are you going to use that power for? I think that's what JP was getting at. Like, what's the end goal? Power is merely a tool to bring about our desires. It must be put towards some end.
Bah! Power is an end in of itself.
And after you have all of it?
I will use it to get even more power, then destroy the world and enslave it afterwards or something.
And why do you want that power in the first place? What drives your lust for power?
So I can get more power.
Look, Baron, he's evil. That's what he does. Logic is for losers who don't want to blow up entire planets just because of infrastructure bailouts or some nonsense. What's the next talking point?
Let's see. Something about being wary of aging tropes. Not sure what he's talking about there. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to dress and act like one or more disadvantaged minority groups.
Ooh, I would be careful with that. I had a couple of Imperial troopers paint their faces blue and make fun of those cat Smurf aliens. Next thing I know, I've got an angry mob storming my Twitter screaming something about Blueface.
Well, if I can't dress in drag and act effeminate in order to make the audience uncomfortable, then what am I supposed to do?
Well, at least you are still old and gross.
Can't do that either. It's ageist and body shaming.
That's insane.
No, having an insane villain is ableist, actually. Even that's becoming kind of a no-go for villains now. Trust me, no pitched battles with the rebels is as savage as navigating the cutthroat world of online social media.
You know, this list of talking points is largely devoid of JP's usual sarcasm. I guess he must add that in later. The next point only asks what is the antagonist's role in the story. Well, that's vague.
My role in the story is simple. I sit back and let my generals, commanders, and soldiers do all the work for me. Then, when they bring the captured heroes before me, I gloat and give away critical information that can be used to put a stop to my evil plan.
Really? Me too. Gloating is the best. Almost as good as sitting on my throne and doing nothing until the 3rd act. Why obliterate when you can delegate, I always say.
What? No elegant and elaborate plan to enact your sinister scheme?
Well, we are not all tryhards like you, Baron. Let's see what meager talking point JP has next.
It just says villains as the personification of the protagonist's internal conflict. I'm assuming he means allegorical villains and the like, but as usual he gives no details. And he accuses us of being lazy.
Oh, this is just like the time he went on and on about how my backstory should parallel with the heroes. Something symbolism and themes. He is always going on and on about themes.
And then he is always on about the razor-thin difference between heroes and villains. What a joke! Look at me, I'm JP. Sarcasm, 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 self-deprecating joke love triangle.
Ha! That is just like him. He is a living caricature.
Completely unlike us. Then he has the gall to compare us to Saturday morning cartoon villains.
What's a Saturday morning cartoon?
In the 80s, that was another word for product placement. Let's just move on to the next point. Seems he left a note about when the audience is rooting for the villains to win. That means the heroes need more work, not the villains need to be made even more evil and lame.
Wait, people root for the heroes in stories? When did this start happening? Looks like I'll have to purge my propaganda branch again for failing to do their job.
Don't you have a 0% approval rating?
I don't know what JP is talking about. Upping the evil seems like a good move to me. Besides, who needs approval when you have power?
Yeah, what's this nonsense about heroes only being as good as the villain they faced? Never work on the heroes. They might actually win if a writer does that.
Oh, that cheeky little. He mentions me by name in the next talking point. Convoluted villain plans that fall apart with the barest application of logic. My plan is foolproof. Once the traitor turns on House Good Guys, I will enact my long-awaited revenge. First, he will deactivate their defenses, and then the decoys will draw their attention away. Then the assassins I hid in the Duke's birthday cake will spring out, but those are just the distraction, for the real threat is actually the poisoned drink. But by that point, it will be too late, because I will already have bought controlling shares in his company. But before that happens, I will switch out his morning crossword puzzle, and the Duke will be forced to face a quadratic equation, and...
That all sounds very nice, Baron, but maybe we should just move to the next talking point.
Oh, right. Next, he mentions various tactics to make the villains hateable.
That is easy. Why, just yesterday I destroyed 3 orphanages. That shall make all who hear my name hate and fear me.
No, that's not on his list.
What about genocide?
No.
Casting the land in eternal darkness?
Also no. Mostly he mentions stuff like personal insults, killing off developed characters for petty reasons, generally being petty to people. It's a lot of small stuff. I think he is suggesting that the grandiose acts of villainy tend to be too large in scale to solicit a significant emotional response from the audience due to a lack of personal connection.
Well, you know what they say. Kill one man and it's a tragedy. Kill 10 million and your tax revenue falls sharply for some reason.
It's like torture. Sometimes you just need a personal touch.
Well, let's see. It looks like we are nearing the end of the list now. Oh, this one. Yeah, I feel that. This point is about avoiding having the heroes just overpower the villains with raw power. I mean, you spend all your time hoarding power for yourself, unbridled by ethics or morality, only for this plucky group of bickering teens to come out of nowhere and undo the whole thing. Bunch of goody two-shoes don't know real politic if it shot their own father to usurp the rightful heir. Which I did. I put in the legwork. I took all of the moral shortcuts needed for a fastest possible power grab, only for these snot-nosed brats not old enough to vote to just be handed superpowers. Bunch of stinking cheaters.
I know, right? Evil, unlimited power, fast. That's what it said on the box. Evil just does not go as far anymore. I thought the whole point of being evil was that it led to quick and easy power. Seems like nowadays all you need is to be the protagonist.
Anyways, this looks like the last of his list. It nears its end. Nothing can stop us now.
Usually when we say that, some hero busts in to put it into our schemes.
Well, the last point is a note about how often evil is undone by its own hand.
What? Impossible! Evil is the way to go. My reign over this video will be eternal. To prove that I will rule in everlasting dominion over this video, I will commit an evil act right now. And the most evil thing I can think of is to display the sponsored section of the video.
Wait, won't that mean that our part of the video will end and...
Oh no, it's the fourth wall!
Freedom! Yes, freedom. Good job, everyone, on our successful heist of House Bad Guy's sponsor for this video, Skillshare. Their premium membership that allows access to thousands of online classes in writing, technology, business, and more, as well as their learning communities, is now liberated for the rebellion.
Good, now we must prepare for the Empire's counterattack.
Yes, but we have an even more pressing matter. We must decide on branding. Behold our new logo.
Not really that
Where's
cool.
the love triangle?
I hate it. It's too much like the evil Empire's logo. It'll damage our brand. Clearly, our logo is better.
Not with that awful slogan. Freedom and justice. Snore.
Better than freedom and hope. I have seen Hallmark cards more dramatic.
Oh, so we should go with freedom and liberty then? Those are the same things. Also, what better way to not make an impact than by using the impact font? What's next? Papyrus?
Hey guys, those Imperial Death Troopers are getting kind of close.
Look, the important thing is we settle on a name.
Like Love Resistance.
Too generic. How about the Rebel Freedom Forces?
Or like freedom fighters. We fight for freedom. That's what I meant. Ugh.
Did anyone actually watch the Skillshare class on personal branding, crafting your social media presence? The Empire is killing us on Twitter almost as much as they are on the battlefield.
Okay guys, the Imperials are preparing their assault. Maybe we should...
Yes, you are right. Let's focus on what's important. We and TWA fans can go to skl.sh/TWA16 or click on the link in the description below to get 2 months of Skillshare for free, with the subscription being only $10 a month after that. Then we can... Wow, we actually hit something.